BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 38 of The Lobby. Right to my right-hand side, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Donnie Rightside. How you doing today, Donnie?
Let's get it going, boys, here. Never a good time when your Philadelphia Phillies, or should I say my Philadelphia Phillies, get knocked out of the playoffs here, and the World Series continues without them. How did they lose Game 6? How did they lose Game 7? Yeah, they did. That's just what happens being a Philadelphia sports fan. You always expect the worst and seemingly get the worst here, but new week, new money as we move on. We'll try to make some money in the World Series, and certainly football moves on. And the NBA in full it's gas. It's full gas right now, and I love it.
Yes, that it is. And speaking of the NBA, Mr. Sam's in charge, rocking the freshly cut beard along with his Knicks shirt and Knicks hat. What's up, Sammy?
What's up, Bobby? Excited for tip-off tonight against Boston, home game. But I see you're rocking your Caribbean cruising, Tommy Bahana. How was your vacation?
Yes, I am. No, it was very nice. Had a really good time. Can't wait to go again. Pictures, videos, and everything will be posted as soon as I go through them. But had a really, really nice time. Did not want to come back.
No.
And when you do come back, you need a vacation from your vacation. It was hard to get back into the swing of things, but happy to be back. And thank you both, Donnie and Sammy, last week for holding up the ship with the podcast. Appreciate that.
Of course,
it was fun, man. We had a good time there. Had to hold it down. We did, and yeah, cruising. Man, you had a good vacation. When you come back rested, it's like, well, I didn't do anything. When you come back tired from your vacation, that's how you know you got your money's worth.
Exactly. But speaking of getting money's worth, Donnie, let's jump right into the big topic, MLB World Series. Odds are courtesy of Bet Online. Diamondbacks plus 155 to win it. Rangers minus 175. Just me looking at this, I personally like Arizona here, mostly because of their starting rotation. Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, I believe those two will lead the Diamondbacks onto a World Series. What's your take on it, looking at the whole thing, not just individual game by game, but the whole series itself? How many games do you think it's going to go, and ultimately, who do you like to win it?
I'll go 6. I think it goes 6 games, and I think there's a legitimate chance that the Arizona Diamondbacks can win. You take a look at the way they've entered into the playoffs. The hottest team in the world, not necessarily. Crushing Milwaukee, crushing the Dodgers, coming back and beating the Phillies in 7. The motivation is certainly there for them to continue to compete. And you see them in the post-game press conferences. They expect to be here. It's like, look, we're not playing with house money and hoping that, we took it to 6 games and got it back to Philadelphia. Torey Lovullo, the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, basically said, we didn't come 3,000 miles to get our asses kicked. We came here to win a baseball game and a series, and they did. I love the fact where they basically said, we're going to take Schwarber, Harper out of the final 2 games, force the rest of the guys to beat them. They went all ice cold at the same time. It was a great structure there. Let me see if the Diamondbacks can do the same thing with Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia to see if they can calm those bats down. Why not the Diamondbacks at this point? They're not a fluke. You don't win that many games against that many good teams, and you're called a fluke. They're not.
Not at all. Sammy, who do you like in the World Series? What are you taking?
Yeah, the good part about this series is it's 2 teams that you're got to be pretty neutral on. You can't really hate either team. There's no major storyline. There's no major players that are involved in the media that makes you hate the team because the player is on it. So from a neutral standpoint, I know JJ posted about the ratings will be down because these aren't the main teams. The playoffs have been good this year. The first time the Phillies were in a Game 7, the first Game 7 since I believe it was 2020 or 2021, and you had both championship series in Game 7s, 2 out-of-market teams. So I'm hoping for a really good series, hoping for 6 or 7 games, of course. I ultimately think the Rangers, as much as I hate to say the home field advantage makes a difference, considering the Rangers won all 7 games. The Rangers Astros, all 7 road teams won that series.
Amazing.
But let's go with the home team, Rangers in 6, and it'll be exciting to see a new team win the World Series. So I'm more of individually going to be betting the games.
Right.
Either team to win is going to be okay in my books.
All right. And Donnie, unfortunately, you went 0-2 yesterday in your NBA picks. Sorry to hear that, but what do you got on the hardwood for us tonight?
Yeah, I actually went with Ben Simmons tonight, over 6 assists tonight. How about that? Riding with the big man. Look, the NBA on a night-to-night basis is hard enough. When you try to do spot plays there, and also, keep in mind, some of those videos come out earlier. I love the Phoenix Suns and think they're going to win the world championship this year in the NBA. But when I was doing that video here, and again, the NBA, everybody knows betting the NBA. It's very hard early.
It's a grind, just like baseball. It is a grind.
Yep, you got to wait till 4:30 and 5 o'clock to make sure who's actually playing. Because word on the street in the morning was, okay, Beal's going to be out. And then, by the way, 50-50 if Devin Booker even plays. So for that second game, I said to myself, there's no way I could take the Suns knowing that 2 of the 3 big guns would be down at game time. So I said, all right, let me take the Golden State Warriors, who actually had a lead into the fourth quarter, weren't able to pull it off. And the Los Angeles Lakers was just a miss yesterday. I thought they would come into the season saying, you know what? Circle the game on the calendar. We're in Denver. We got swept by them last year. It's time to rectify that. Yeah, they rectified it right out the window with another loss there. But tonight, I'm backing Ben Simmons. How about that?
All right, Sammy, who do you like on the hardwood tonight? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing another player prop like Donnie. I'm going to be back in Julius Randle and the Knicks. I don't necessarily think they're going to be winning at home. I'm certainly hoping for. I hate Boston, always hate Boston, and definitely rooting for New York. But here's the deal with Julius Randle. Opening night, the over-under in this game is 223, so they're expecting a lot of points. He averaged 25 points last year. He's obviously their top scoring threat. So I expect him to come out at home, and get some points. So taking him over 21.5, don't see any reason why he's not getting 23 to 27 points. And then from a game standpoint, I kind of like Cleveland over Brooklyn. Not necessarily, again, fading Ben Simmons. He can still get his points, his assist. But we're interested to see how he definitely plays tonight, considering his whole storyline and his whole career. But Cleveland, surprise team last year, and I think they keep that momentum going to start the year against Brooklyn.
All right. Thank you, Sammy. And so, Donnie, how was your last week in NFL? And what do you got for us this week? Who do you like? Did you get your 7? Who do you like on your 7 for this week?
Yeah, got my 7 this weekend. Bounced back last week. I had a terrible week. I think I was 1-6 overall, so I lost some style points, but went 5-2 last week. Had a couple big winners there, hitting the 7 and the 6, I believe, which put me back up into the top 10, which is right where you want to be. You just want to stay in striking distance in this tournament here all the way through. I did my 7 here. And again, the thing that we love about this, I like locking him in midweek and then maybe making some changes as the week goes through. Now, there is some news coming out here, particularly in a game that I have picked out. I have the Cincinnati Bengals getting the 5.5 points. Now we're finding out today that Brock Purdy goes into concussion protocol. It looks like it's going to be Sam Darnold. Now we're down to 3.5. So maybe some value on that side of the spectrum. But Brock Purdy or no Brock Purdy, I still like the Cincinnati Bengals coming off the bye. The 49ers aren't hitting on all cylinders. I went that direction there. The Baltimore Ravens, who I think now finally are hitting on all cylinders, they routed the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to do the same thing to the Arizona Cardinals. Even though it is on the road, I'll back them at the -8.5 price. The Chargers also, I'm going to back them at home at a -8.5 price against the Chicago Bears. Tyson Bagent played well last week. They beat the Raiders, but now you're going on the road. You got some film on Bagent that you can look at. Even though the Chargers aren't playing good football, I like the situational spot for them. I think they'll handle their business. The Atlanta Falcons going on the road as a 2.5-point favorite over the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans going to Will Levis. So you're starting a rookie quarterback here. I'll always take my chances with a team going up against a rookie in his first start. So that didn't work out there for the Chicago Bears game. Why would you do it here? Listen to me on the Titans. Also, sold Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles. Who is next on that team, and are they just blowing it up? It's never a good look for a team that you don't expect at the trade deadline to be buyers but sellers. I think they lose that football game and Atlanta takes advantage. How about this? I'll take the New England Patriots this week again at the 9.5 price against the Miami Dolphins. Took them last week in the pool against the Buffalo Bills, getting just over a touchdown, and they won that game outright. I don't like the Patriots here, but I'm not laying 9.5 points with the Miami Dolphins. The New York Jets against the Giants. I'm taking the Jets against the Giants this week. Sauce Gardner, the boys back, a couple more guys in that secondary. Not liking the offensive performance out of the New York Giants, even in a victory against the Washington Commanders. I think the Jets can win that game by a field goal. And then I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints bouncing back on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. I'll take the 1.5 points here with the Saints. That's what I'm feeling this week in the contest, boys.
All right. Thank you, Donnie, and best of luck with that. Sammy, right on to you. How was your week 7? What do you got for us on tap for week number 8 in the NFL?
Yeah, week 7 was a bloodbath. I think overall most people lost. If anyone had profit, good for you.
Yeah.
I think I saw that the top 7 public plays of the week all lost. So that means
Wow.
Vegas won. And again, I might play more of the public picks than than the sharp plays or whatever.
Right.
But losing all 7, of the main plays, I was definitely on at least 4 or 5 of those plays as well. A couple of them I didn't even touch. But it's a bounce back week. Hey, week 7 mid-year lull. It's almost like week 1. It happens. There was a lot of close lines, and
Yes.
I almost think that week 8 is similar. You could be looking at a lot of close games. You just got to be on the right side of it, or just not on the losing end of every one of them. So looking ahead, I got Jacksonville as my number 1 over Pittsburgh, or I should say as my number 7 over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 4-2 this year, but they have the 4th lowest point total on the year. They're winning by defense. They're finding ways to win. Suddenly the offenses are stopped in the last 2 games against the Rams and against Baltimore. They're just offenses just stopped in the 3rd and 4th quarter out of nowhere. But the Pittsburgh defense is what's keeping them in the game, but they can't score points. So if Jacksonville can put up points, again, obviously that's the defense, but I got Jacksonville there. Number 6, I got Seattle over Cleveland. What's going on with Deshaun Watson? Obviously, I talk a lot of shit on him, but from a real level, he's cleared to play and he's not playing. So what's going on in Cleveland? I think Seattle, they got a lot of momentum. Seattle at home, I think will take care of business against Cleveland. I'm with Donnie on Baltimore. Baltimore hitting their stride. They embarrassed the Detroit Lions at home last week. Arizona has just been a stomping stick for everyone that has the opportunity to hit them. So Baltimore should take care of business there. I got Philly -7 over Washington. Washington, a pretty bad loss, obviously against the Giants. Philly is 6-1. Their only loss was against the Jets. Pretty tough loss, but it happens throughout the 17-game season. But Philly's been beating their teams, and I think they take care of business. I got the Colts at home over New Orleans. I got Houston over Carolina right now. Carolina is struggling to find a win. Houston, CJ Stroud might be the rookie of the year, playing well. That Houston team that's at 4 or 5 wins, it could be at 7, 8 wins at the end of the season. And I agree with Donnie as well. For my last pick, I got Atlanta over Tennessee. Will Levis at quarterback, rookie quarterback. Atlanta's been playing decent the last couple weeks. So, a rookie playing his first ever game, definitely got to fade him.
All right. Thank you, Sammy, and best of luck with those. Let's give a quick shout out to our top 5 from last week in our NFL contest. Number 1, Stevie Ray. Number 2, Lex Icon. Number 3, Mike 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4, a little boy, and rounded out number 5, Tanko. But Donnie, how was your college football weekend?
College football weekend was okay last week. You know what the one game I missed on, though, was Penn State. And I should have known better. James Franklin in a big game situation always comes up the loser, and he did yet again. I don't want to hear about they scored a late touchdown to close within 8 points of that game. I actually thought there was a legitimate chance that Penn State would win that football game outright, and they didn't do it here. Some more big action on the college football docket this weekend. But last week, that centerpiece game, I wanted to see how Penn State would perform in a big scenario. They didn't perform all the well, but keep in mind, in a couple weeks, they're going to play Michigan. If they win that game and then Michigan goes on to beat Ohio State, you take a look at those top 3 teams in the Big Ten East, all 3 with 1 loss, then it gets tricky here. But that means Penn State has to beat Michigan, and I don't think that's going to happen. Why? Because James Franklin doesn't do very well against really good opponents here, particularly in the Big Ten. But that was a game that I missed on this weekend. I actually thought Penn State would be able to win an outright victory in the horseshoe. They were terrible on offense, guys.
Yes, and Sammy, how was your last week in college football, and what do you like this coming weekend?
Yeah, college was a pretty bloodbath, just like NFL. I had a horrible weekend in football all the way around, but hey, you have one of those weekends and then you move on. Exactly. I know 2 weeks ago I cashed pretty big, and then I basically donated it back. That's the curve over there. It's a daily grind. But I'm sitting at 27th place in the college, 91 points. I'm just flirting. I'm in the mix, but I'm not really in the mix. JDS is sitting at 9th place at 125 points. So I'm still 34 points behind the top 10. So I really need some strong weeks moving forward. And this week, just looking at the overall college card, there's only 2 games featuring matchups in the top 20. You got number 8 Oregon at number 13 Utah, which might be the game of the week on paper. And then you got Duke number 20 at number 18 Louisville. A lot of conference play, some close lines, but not a lot of top 25 matchups this coming weekend. But doesn't mean there's not going to be good football. Again, conference play is going on. You expect some heavy hits and you expect some close games.
All right. Thank you, Sammy. And speaking about being in the money, let's give a shout out to our top 5 for last week in the college contest. Number 1, Wags to Riches. Number 2, Daniel SP. Number 3, To the Nines. Number 4, Subaru 80. And rounding out the top 5, Big J in at number 5. Now, Sammy, how is things looking on the hard court, I should say? Tennis, how's that looking? How's the threat looking? What do you got for us?
Yeah, tennis isn't that bad. I'm sitting right around 29 units, which I've been around for like the last few months. It's really been that daily grind. I had like such a good first 4 months of the year where I was like just hitting everything. And then I hit the clay court season, lost a little bit, hit the grass court, lost a little bit. But we're coming into the home stretch. The men got 2 tournaments this week. They got 1 Master 1000 next week, and then they start their year-end finals. The women start their year-end finals next week in Cancun. So the women are pretty much done other than the top 8 women singles and doubles that we'll be playing in Cancun next week. So can't wait for that action. The top 8 women all get to face each other in a 4x4 round robin. So that'll be an exciting week. And then basically you got a month off until they all go to Australia to start off January. And then the men's will be ending towards the later half of November. Again, month and a half off. Start everything back up in the Australian Open. So the year-end finals will be really exciting. Again, men and women, the top 8 get to play. It's almost like a playoff version for any other sport. So the best of the best, and they get to duke it out. So,
all right, what's the record looking like?
I don't have it pulled up. I'm hitting around 57%. But,
all right. Awesome. Hey, if you're hitting a winning record, that's all that matters.
Yep.
But I want to apologize real quick to you guys for last week. Unfortunately, there was no poker for all of you poker fans.
Back.
Donnie, Sammy, we're going to be back this coming Saturday, October 28th at 8 p.m. Bounty will be on poster Eddie Cash. So Eddie, everyone in the poker event will be taking a look to take you down for those baller coins. So make sure you shoot me a private message, make a post in my poker thread if you're interested in playing, and we'll definitely get you involved. Sammy, how is the NFL Eliminator looking? You still alive? What do you got for us this week in Eliminator? What's your strategy for week 8?
Yeah, so week 8, there's a ton on the board. So first off, I am still in. I got my 1 entry left.
All right.
So pool, we're down to 58 entries. That started with 317. So we still got a long way to go, but you're down to 58. But there's a lot of good options, which then take strategy and then take what you haven't, what you've already lost at the beginning. So you have at least 7 options of teams that are favored by 6+. You got the Chargers, you got Buffalo, Philly, Miami, Dallas, Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit. So you have 8 options that are pretty solid. So then you got to decipher between them.
What are you going to do? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so for me, I'm on the Chargers at home versus Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm going with Kansas City. Kansas City, I actually still have available. But again,
me too.
On the road, division match, no reason to take them. You could take them a ton.
You want to save them for a later date. Exactly.
Philly, on the road division match, do I think they're going to win? Yes, but do I take them? Not worth it. Division road game, there's better opportunities. I have Baltimore for later in the year. I have Detroit for later in the year.
Right.
The Chargers, right now you're fading Arizona and you're fading Chicago. So you're picking 2 or 3 teams that you're picking on every week. Chicago's one of those teams. Rookie quarterback, second start, even though they had a good win. Vegas was also playing a backup quarterback. So, they're now on the road. San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers could easily be 4-3, 5-2. They're sitting at 2-5. So, their offense is definitely better. They're an overall better team. So I'm going with them this week and hopefully move on to week 9.
All right. Well, good luck. Donnie, you still alive in the Eliminator? What do you got?
Still alive here. I was in a pool with about 15,000 people. We're down to about 2,000 at this point.
All right.
So still fighting and kicking. Last week, sometimes you start to get in these roadblock weeks. It's like, boy, I don't know where we're going yet. But I'm the same as Sam. I'm popping up, and I saw right away the Chargers. And I don't like the way the Chargers are playing. But the Chargers are a better overall football team than the Chicago Bears. And sometimes you just take it down to its simplistic form. Yes, I also have Kansas City available. But I'm waiting on Kansas City. Kansas City's going to have a layup coming soon. And maybe it's this weekend. But quite frankly, the Chargers should have a layup this week. And Sammy's right. Hey, man, the Chicago Bears look good at home. If a rookie quarterback that was undrafted goes on the road and beats the Chargers, Brandon Staley will be fired. Then we just start to question the entire organization of the Chargers. No doubt in my mind the Chargers are going to win this game in prime time. Because why? If a rookie quarterback on the road wins this game, I'll tip my cap and I'll bow out of my survivor pool here. But I'm going the same way. I haven't settled it, but I'd love to pick early in the week and lock it in just in case I forget or don't make a change. It is the Chargers for me too.
All right, best of luck with that, Donnie. And speaking of streaks, guys, quick update for Streak of Fortune. It will be returning tomorrow. I know Donnie, Sam, you guys are very excited about that.
I love it.
We'll be back tomorrow with a new time frame, guys. Instead of Monday to Friday, they're going to Thursday to Monday, and I think that's great because you have college opportunities, you have NFL opportunities. I think it's awesome. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, guys. I'm sorry, on X.
Yeah,
Still weird for me to say that on
I still
X
say the same thing.
rather than on Twitter, guys, at BMR Reviews. And then if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's going to be at BMR_review. Make sure you shoot me or any of the staff a private message to let us know you're following for some baller coins. But Donnie, Sammy, best of luck. I know you both be involved in Streak of Fortune.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Can't
Absolutely.
wait.
I
It's,
can't
it's
wait.
a fun contest. Absolutely.
It is.
I got to get the Friday. Like I've been to Thursday
Wait,
3
Monday.
times. I got to get the Friday, and now you're right. I'm going to make it the Friday. I just need to make it the Monday now.
Yeah.
Well, I think you could definitely do it, Donnie. I think you could definitely do it. But guys, best of luck on all the action this week, and you guys have a great rest of the day.
Awesome.
Have a good one, guys.
See you guys.